We are now less than a month away from Apple's biggest event of the year. And while all eyes are on the new iPhone, the Apple Watch lineup could have some interesting updates of its own. A faster chip, new health and fitness features, better efficiency, and possibly some major sensor upgrades. So if you're thinking about upgrading your Apple Watch, here's everything you should know about the Apple Watch Series 12 and Apple Watch Ultra 4. Let's get into it. Every September, Apple launches a brand new iPhone lineup, but right alongside it comes the new generation of Apple Watches. This year, we are expecting the Apple Watch Series 12 and Ultra 4. There are quite a few interesting leaks surrounding both these watches, and today we'll break down what's changing and what isn't, and more importantly, whether it's actually worth upgrading depending on the watch you're currently using. Let's start with probably the biggest upgrade this year, the processor. For the past few generations, the Apple Watch hasn't really seen meaningful performance improvements. Apple renamed the chips from the S8 to the S9 and then the S10, but in real world use, the experience barely changed. This time, however, we are expecting an all-new chip, and honestly, it's about time. A new processor doesn't mean apps opening a little faster. It could improve animations, make the interface smoother, boost workout tracking, speed up Siri, and most importantly, improve battery efficiency. It's also expected to better handle Apple's growing AI features. As Apple Intelligence continues expanding across Apple's ecosystem, the Apple Watch will need more processing power to support smarter Siri, interactions, and future health features. So this year's processors could be much more important than it appears. Personally, I'm still using the Apple Watch Series 5 that I bought back in 2019, and surprisingly, it still works really well. I mainly use for notification, tracking my runs, checking messages, and controlling music. Have I thought about upgrading? Absolutely. But until now, nothing has really convinced me to spend the money. The Series 12 might finally be the first Apple Watch in years that feels like a meaningful upgrade. Now let's talk about the biggest complaint that most Apple Watch users have: battery life. The Apple Watch Ultra has always been the battery king. The current Ultra offers around 42 hours of normal usage, and with low power mode you can stretch that up to 70 hours. That's impressive, but most people don't use the Ultra. Most people buy the standard Apple Watch, and that's where Apple really needs to improve. Leaks suggest Apple is focusing heavily on battery life this year. The new processor should be more power efficient, and there are rumors of a slightly larger battery as well. If Apple can finally push the Series 12 comfortably beyond a full day, even into a day and a half or 2 days, that would have been a massive improvement. Now compared to watches from Garmin and some other brands that easily last 10 to 14 days, Apple still has a long way to go. People love the Apple Watch experience. They just don't love charging it every single night. Hopefully this year, Apple finally start closing the gap. Health tracking has always been one of Apple's biggest strengths, and this year we can see another important addition. Reports suggest Apple has been working towards blood pressure monitoring and has reportedly been pursuing regulatory approval for health capabilities. Now don't expect the watch to display an exact blood pressure number like a medical cuff. Instead, it's expected to detect signs of high blood pressure and notify users if it notices concerning trends over time. If Apple gets this right, it could become one of the most useful health features that Apple Watch has ever introduced, especially because hypertension often has no obvious symptoms. If you're hoping for a dramatic redesign, you might be disappointed. Current leaks suggest Apple isn't making major design changes this year. The series lineup already received larger displays with thinner bezels recently. The Ultra 4, however, could become slightly thinner while keeping its rugged design. So expect small refinements rather than a complete redesign. And of course, every Apple Watch generation also brings new watch faces. So we'll almost certainly get a fresh collection of exclusive faces for both Series 12 and Ultra 4. Now here's the question everyone asks: will Apple increase the price? Interestingly, the Apple Watch has largely avoided the price increases that has affected many other consumer electronics in recent times. However, with new hardware and rising manufacturing cost, there is still a possibility of slight price increases this September. We'll have to wait for Apple's official announcement to know for sure. So should you actually buy one? If you're using a Series 9, Series 10 or newer, I'll probably wait, unless your battery health has significantly degraded or you really want the new health features. Your current watch is still excellent. But if you're using a Series 6, Series 5 or anything older like I am, the Series 12 could finally be worth the upgrade. A faster processor, better battery life, new health sensors, and years of additional software support could make a noticeable jump. And if battery life is your number one priority, the Ultra 4 will probably remain the best Apple Watch Apple makes. So which Apple Watch are you currently using? And are you planning to upgrade to Series 12 or Ultra 4? Let us know down in the comments. We'll know everything officially at Apple's September event, and we'll be covering every announcement here on Visex. So if you don't want to miss the latest Apple news, leaks and everything happening in the world of tech, make sure to subscribe. Also make sure to follow us on Instagram for the latest tech updates. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.